All hits all the time.
We are family.
Next Scherzer, double-digit Ks.
We're busting ours to kick yours.
Fun to watch.
Minus 15.
Respect all, fear none.
Into the upper deck.
Intensity is not a curfew.
Oh, mercy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, a couple costly mistakes end up coming back to hurt the Orioles in an 8-7 loss in 10 innings. And now we bring in Brett Hollander, who was there at the ballpark breaking down this loss on MASN All Access Extra. And Brett, felt like the Orioles bats battled back, made it 7-7, but then a defensive mistake and a base running mistake ultimately cost the Orioles this win.
Yeah, it's true, Paul. And they pitched pretty well in the bullpen tonight, minus Lakins, who really struggled for the first time this year. And kind of a critical moment in the game with LeBlanc leaving after LeBlanc actually pitched pretty well for at least a few innings. But going to what you were saying, the Davis play is a tricky one. Infield's in. He makes a great diving stop. Obviously, at that point, he has to throw from his backside to get the go-ahead run at home. It's a high degree of difficulty play. And that's a tough call in a baseball moment where your option's either to walk to the bag at first, take the one. In the end, those added runners that advanced on the play didn't hurt you. So you want to say he made the right call. And it's a tough one-bounce play for the catcher at home and Pedro Severino. And he just wasn't able to come up with the ball as the runner was coming at him. And then on the Dwight Smith play, man, that's really tough. Mullins has this great AB, and Lines really smokes a base hit to center off their closer, and he just doesn't pick up the third base coach, and very costly for the Orioles there.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned the bullpen there. That is one positive for the night. The fact that they now have about 5 guys there, all of whom have ERAs under 4. You have Castro, Givens, Tanner Scott, Cole Sulser, Armstrong. Every one of those guys made an appearance in this game. It feels like they're starting to form a little bit of a core in that bullpen there.
Yeah, I really like those arms in the back end there. I think the question is, can they ride them every game when they're trying to get a victory? And they burned a lot of them tonight. Not that they can't come back tomorrow, but at some point they need these starters to go deeper into these games, or it's going to be quite a burden to carry if the Orioles are going to, perhaps stay in contention this year. But obviously what you're seeing from Miguel Castro when he's right, I mean, that stuff's pretty much unhittable. It's actually shocking when someone gets a base hit off him because the stuff is that good. And then beyond that, Paul, I mean, what we're seeing from Tanner Scott, it's actually getting better every time out, which is pretty shocking because he's been lights out all year, 9 innings, no earned runs, just 1 base hit. I mean, is that real for Tanner Scott? This is a guy who Sean Armstrong told me the other day he's got a chance to make a lot of money in this game and make some big outs to the Orioles for a very long time. I think he actually put it as perhaps the best left-handed stuff in the American League right now. So he's been filthy, and that's a really positive sign because guys like Tanner Scott, they're young, and it shows you, even like we're seeing with Chance Sisco right now, we want to write off certain people quickly if we don't get that instant result, instant gratification. And it's doesn't work that way for everyone. It's not a perfect trajectory. It's up and down, and then you hope your guy finds it with your ball club.
Yeah, and you're seeing him put it all together. And speaking of putting it all together, given immense talent, you have Anthony Santander, who had 3 extra base hits, 2 homers in this game, guy who has had all the talent in the world. And you just touched on Chance Sisco, a former #1 prospect in the Orioles system. How great is it to see these guys who have had lofty expectations for quite a while finally be able to put all the pieces together?
Well, first on Santander, by my calculation, I did the numbers tonight. Going back to the last 59 games of last year, and so far this year, you're talking about 25 home runs and 22 doubles in that stretch. It's just about 82 games. In that stretch, he's averaging about a home run every 13 and a half ABs, which is
Wow.
spectacular. I mean, that's someone who's going to pace the league most years. So he's been terrific. And you start thinking about his upside. He's only playing about 162 big league games. And it starts to get pretty exciting when you think about what he could be for the Orioles for a long time.
Absolutely. Well, Brett, we'll let you get to the other post-game activities in this one as the Orioles drop this game 8-7 in 10 innings. They're still above 500, and they still have the Toronto Blue Jays tomorrow in the afternoon on the schedule. So, Brett, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Paul.